everyone. So today I would like to come to you with a short video just going through the books that I am currently reading. This is kind of going to be a general February TBR. First book that I have that I am so excited to start. I do have it, it's just not down here right now, and I don't feel like going all the way upstairs to my room to get it. But the first book, I'll put a picture of it here, is Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. I first heard about this book from Kat over at Paperback Dreams, and I absolutely fell in love with the way that she talked about this book and sort of spoke about what it meant to her. And I really hope that I can get something wonderful out of it as well when I read it. So I'm really hoping that it does that for me as well. Okay, I don't really know anything about the book other than it's about a teenage girl, and she kind of is, she's very like studious sort of in school, and she also in her spare time likes to make fan art for this podcast. And that's about all I know about the book. I don't like to know too much going into it. I think going into it knowing as little as possible is generally good practice. So, okay, the next book that I have started is actually a nonfiction book. It is called The Plant Paradox. This is a book that was given to me as a gift from my father for Christmas this year. So thank you very much to him for that. But yeah, this is a book I never would have picked up myself. I had absolutely no intention of reading it. I don't really like nonfiction books very much. I just don't find them interesting. They don't sweep me away to another world. They don't make me, feel that magic. But this is a book all about sort of the foods we eat and why we eat the foods we eat and how these foods kind of came into our diet and sort of some of the supposed health problems that are linked, the health problems are real, we all know this, but the ones that are supposedly linked to our diet and sort of some of the ways in which we can change our diet to improve our health and to sort of take some of the necessary steps and to not get mixed up between foods that are actually good for you and foods that, you might think are good for you, but in reality are not. So, I don't know, I'm almost 100 pages in. Well, actually, sorry, I'm just past 100 pages in. My dad and I are kind of reading this together, kind of like a buddy read, and every week we kind of get on the phone and talk about what we've read. And I will likely do a full review on this book. I don't want to talk about it too much here, but suffice it to say, there are some things in this book I really like, but there are also things that are extremely problematic. So I'll be doing a full review on that. So stay tuned for that. Okay, next is The Art Thief by Noah Charney. This book is obviously about art crime. I'm currently also reading another book about art crimes, and that is The Godwin Connection by Estelle Ryan. It's on my e-reader, and my e-reader is, well, it's kind of been misplaced at the moment, so. But I will find it. I've always been interested in art crime. I find it fascinating, so I'm really, really excited to read this. I think it's definitely going to be probably at least 3, if not a 4-star read for me. I don't generally like making star predictions, but for this one, I'm willing to take the risk and make the star prediction. 3, possibly 4 stars for me. Okay, next book. This is a book that I'm going to be starting to read with my husband. We each love reading, and we read books on our own quite a bit, but we tend to read books to each other. So we take turns. So it's just one of the things that we do as a couple. He'll pick a book and I will read it to him, and then few chapters every night, and then afterwards then I pick a book and he reads it to me. It's just kind of a nice thing that we do for each other. And so the book that I have picked for him to start reading to me is Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. So I read the back. It sounds very interesting, so I think it's definitely going to be a really good read. So Wonder Woman Warbringer. Looks exciting. Like, look at that. Look at that cover. Looks fantastic. Okay, next up is 2 series that I have started rereads for. I'm going to be doing reading vlogs for both of these series, so stay tuned for those. They're probably going to take me a few weeks to make, just because I'm going to read the whole series and I'm going to film it, and then I got to edit all that footage, and then like it's a whole thing. The reading vlog is going to be for the whole series. So, and I'll be talking about sort of my thoughts as I'm reading. So if you like reading vlogs, stay tuned for those. The first series that I'm going to be vlogging is the His Dark Materials trilogy by Philip Pullman. So we have The Golden Compass, The Subtle Knife, and The Amber Spyglass. I saw the movie The Golden Compass. I fell in love with it. They used to have a quiz online where you could go on and find out what your demon is. So it's kind of like your spirit animal, I guess. But yeah. So I fell in love with that idea. That was the relationship between Lyra and Pantalaimon was something that I love so much. I crave a relationship like that with my own pets. It was just beautiful. But I absolutely loved these books, and I'm really excited to reread them because I remember how much I loved them the first time. So anyway, so the last book series that I am going to be rereading is The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. And so we have, of course, the Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King. Now, if you don't know what The Lord of the Rings is about, you must have been living under a rock for the last few years. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what it's about. It's basically about this little guy named Frodo, who is a hobbit, and he gets this magical ring from his uncle, and then he finds out that the magical ring is evil, and that it has a mind of its own, and that it's trying to get back to this Dark Lord who they thought was dead and gone and had been killed in a war like a long time ago. And basically he has to take this ring pretty much like across the world to this mountain, and he has to climb up the mountain, and there's like a volcano inside the mountain, and he basically has to climb up it and throw the ring into the fiery lava stuff inside the volcano to destroy it and save the world before the Dark Lord can get his hands back on it. That's pretty much the basis. If you want to know more, look it up. There's tons of stuff. There's websites, there's videos, go out anywhere you can find the movies. Movies are super, super easy to find. If you don't know what The Lord of the Rings is, find out, because it's a pretty wild ride, especially the first time you read it or watch it. At least for me it was. But I'm really excited about rereading these. I think it's going to be a really good time. The Lord of the Rings. This box set is especially precious to me because the first time I read The Lord of the Rings, my mom actually read them to me, and it was right around the time when the movies were coming out. So that was the first time I read them. The second time I read them myself. Like, it was a reread, so I read them myself. But after the movies came out, I really wanted to own the books. I hadn't owned them yet, and I really wanted them. And I was going through a pretty tough time in school, and so my mom, for my birthday, she bought me this set, and so it's incredibly special to me. It makes me think of her every time I pick it up. This is one of those sets of books that it's a permanent fixture on my shelves. It's not going anywhere, ever. So, they're beautiful, they're wonderful, they're gorgeous, and yeah. So I think that's about all I wanted to say in this video, and I will see you guys next time. Alrighty guys, bye!